Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today is going to be another remake of one of my most popular what ifs of all times. It is what if Uzumaki's had a Kekkei Genkai. And I know guys, why would I remake this? It's because I'm not really I think the old versions were really messed up and jumbled everywhere, and the pacing was so fast that I don't think anybody can get it. I want this to at least be a 2-part or at least a 5-part series. That's not gonna last long, so I'm only gonna be making this what if for the past few days. My upload schedule is inconsistent. I have a gaming video that was up about my Apex Legends video. There will not be no more Apex Legends video. There might be one tomorrow. I'm not sure. It's something about the wingman gun, how it's broken. And yeah, I'll see y'all guys. Roll the intro. Actually, before I roll the intro, that sorry, I'm not feeling the best right now, guys. If I sound sick, I don't sound the best. So if y'all guys want to see more videos coming soon, just comment down below and I'll try to make them. But this week is guaranteed to be, and just guaranteed to be, one of my what if weeks, or it's only one what if that I'm looking forward to remaking. If y'all guys, okay, also Uzumakis don't have to be a full-blooded Uzumaki to have the Kekkei Genkai or dojutsu like normal. So Kushina, I want to change everything about Kushina's. Kushina's allows her to transfer her power, like transfer her type of abilities to other people, and Naruto's ability is the same, is to copy people's Kekkei dojutsu / Kekkei Genkais. So he can copy Kekkei Genkai and dojutsus whenever he wants. And you can tell by the way he copies somebody's dojutsu how his eyes disappear. Let's say he copies somebody's Sharingan. The star in his eyes would morph into a Sharingan of whatever person's Tomo that has. So let's say he's fighting Pain. Well, no, actually, let's say he's fighting Sasuke. Naruto's teen, Sasuke's teen. He's using his Mangekyo Sharingan and spamming Amaterasu. Naruto can just copy his Mangekyo Sharingan and spam Amaterasu, or Amaterasu. But Naruto doesn't get the downsides like anybody else, like any other Sharingan users. It basically, if Naruto has a close bond or has a bond with him, any type of like an enemy bond, hatred bond, best friend bond, sibling bond, any type of bond they have, he will allow him to access their Kekkei Genkai with full capabilities without using their abilities. So let's say Naruto have a bond, he's able to use his Sharingan whenever he wants. Now, Naruto is gonna be Naruto's still gonna have Namikaze. Minato's still gonna be a Namikaze. How I made him and Uzumaki in the last timeline. I want to retcon some stuff that I said last time. If you're a half Uzumaki, you can still use it. Full capabilities of the Kekkei Genkai. Like I said last time. So if you guys want to see part 2, to just like and subscribe. I don't care. It's gonna get a part 2 no matter what. So roll the intro. Let's go.
That's when my thoughts can be dangerous. That's when I put on my makeup and drown in self-hatred, forget what I'm saying, and where the beat go? Drums came in, you ain't see that coming. Hands on my head, can't tell me nothing. Got a taste of fame and upon my stomach. Throw back up like I don't want it. Wipe my face, clean up my vomit. OCD trying to push my buttons. I said don't touch it. Now y'all done it. I can be critical, never typical. Trigger with every syllable.
Just get straight into the what if. During the Ninetales attack, Kushina would activate her Kekkei Genkai and share some of her chakra to Minato. Minato prepares to do the Reaper Death Seal, but Kushina tries to convince him to let her take the Ninetales to her death. Minato looks at Kushina and still prepares the Reaper Death Seal and tells her that no, he's going to do this. He doesn't want to see her die. He does the jutsu, and he seals the tail beast into Naruto and then himself. Naruto wakes up. A few days later, a few years go by. Naruto gets special treatment from the third Hokage, and Danzo doesn't tell anybody that he's a Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails. Because if he does this, Kurama could take advantage of his Kikki And Danzo knows Naruto has a Kikki since his mother did too, and Uzumaki just have one in general. He decides to groom Naruto. That sounded weird. That sounded really wrong. He just decided to take Naruto under his wing and train Naruto. Just use his Kikki more often. Naruto Uzumaki. You are a special boy. Allow me to use you to my own benefits. When Naruto's 10 years old, he would be training with the Root organization, so that means he would grow up with Sai and Yamato, the only family that he knows. Naruto's Kikki would activate when he sees Yamato's wood release, and then Naruto would start using wood release like Hashirama, unlike how Yamato uses his wood release. Yamato will notice that he uses wood style differently from him, and he realizes that this is the first Hokage's wood release, since he is the reincarnation of Indra or Ashura. I keep getting them mixed up. I can't remember which one's which. Let's continue. Yamato would teach him how to use wood release and how to make houses and stuff. Yamato would also teach Naruto how to better use his wood release and to use it more proficiently. Naruto would make his own jutsu called Uzumaki style wood chain jutsus. Since Naruto can't use Uzumaki binding chains, he would make his own type of chains. There will be wood type of chains that can morph out of Naruto's and make Naruto can pure chakra into, and it can use the power of Hashirama's wood release to seal their chakra and take their chakra. Naruto's wood release is more powerful than Yamato's, and Naruto. I would say Naruto. Naruto quickly surpasses Sai in his capabilities. Sai would also teach Naruto about the Super Beast scrolls, and Naruto would learn how to use Super Beast scrolls. He would have like a little scroll on his belt at all times, and he would graduate earlier than other people, but he wouldn't like join a Genin team right away because he's still in Root. Naruto would keep his headband strong, and he would want a headband like Yamato's, but he decides not to because it looks kind of dorky, he thinks, which makes Yamato get mad at Naruto. Naruto keeps the scroll and a paintbrush on him, and all times just so he can use his Super Beast scroll if he really needs to. He uses wood release more, and then Naruto begins to develop his nature elements. In this timeline, he wouldn't have wind release. He would have water and earth release, since he would have wood release. He would have wind release, but not really. He wouldn't know until Shippuden, which we're gonna get into that later. Naruto would develop two different jutsus called Uzumaki style Whirlpool Jutsu, which is basically he summons water from a thin air, and it turns into a spiraling shape, and it wraps around people and crushes them. Well, it just squeezes them tight and holds them still. If somebody uses a fireball jutsu, and Naruto uses the Whirlpool Jutsu, it'll wrap around the fireball and easily disperse it. It's the ultimate jutsu. He also will know Water Dragon and Water Style Water Bird Jutsu, which is just like it's basically just like Fire Style Fire Dragon Jutsu, but with a bird. Naruto would learn Earth Style Mud Wall, and his own style called Earth Style, Uzumaki Style Collapsing Rock Jutsu, which is basically he summons a giant mountain and it shatters and rocks start falling down from it. This will be an S rank jutsu, and the Whirlpool Jutsu would be a B rank / C rank / A rank. It depends who's using it. Naruto would join the academy at 12, and then he would run into Sasuke, and he would sympathize with Sasuke a little bit since he knows how it feels to have no family and only know hatred. When Naruto was first brought in, he was groomed to be hatred filled, but he grew out of that phase a long time ago. He would still be friends with Shikamaru and Choji, which nobody would know him as the Demon Fox in this timeline. So Sakura is not mean to him. Ino's not mean to him, and Naruto's more of a social butterfly in this timeline. Everybody knows Naruto as the guy that graduated early and that's powerful, but Sasuke would not care for Naruto since he knows he could probably easily beat Naruto, which is false since Naruto's way powerful than Sasuke in this timeline. Naruto can beat Sasuke low diff. Even if Sasuke had Curse Mark 2, Naruto, that would be a better challenge for base Naruto. I'm not saying Naruto's OP, but he is kind of OP in this timeline. But I'm not gonna make him too OP like I do in my other what ifs, because I feel like the more OP Naruto is, the more the what ifs get unrealistic. So you might see less of Naruto being super OP in this timeline. He will be talking to a lot of people, and then he'll see Hinata by herself and not noticing anybody. Well, not talking to anybody. He walks into the classroom and sees Hinata. He walks towards Hinata and sits down next to her and starts talking to her. She can't say any words, she's just mumbling and passes out. Naruto stays there until she wakes up, and she wakes up until like 5 in the afternoon and it's starting to get dark. Naruto asks her what's going on, and she just mumbles again, tries to talk to him, and Naruto tells her that if he hopes that she was in his team with her, so she can help her with her shyness, which makes Hinata a little happy and blushes and passes out again. Naruto brings her to the Hyuga compound and knocks on the door and leaves Hinata on the doorstep and then runs away. They would see Naruto run away, and they would take notice of this since they don't know he's the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails. But he would know. Well, Hiyashi would see this and secretly thank Naruto. The next day, Mizuki would try to take a scroll, but Naruto would be there to stop him. Naruto already knows Shadow Clone Jutsu since he has trouble with Clone Jutsu entirely since Kurama is messing with his chakra. He would beat Mizuki and bring the school to the third Hokage, and then Naruto would go to the academy. Naruto would pass easily, still learning all the jutsu that he knows in canon at this point. And actually, he will develop another jutsu, which would surprise some people. He'll develop wood style, wood binding jutsu. It's basically where Naruto grabs nearby trees, and then the trees start growing roots, and they wrap around people. And then eventually it grows another tree, and a person gets trapped inside of a giant tree. The bad thing about this is a deadly jutsu, because once they get trapped in a tree, a whole bunch of wood spikes come in, and slowly starts to surround the person until they get completely squished by the spikes. This jutsu is a torture method, and also at the same time a really powerful S-rank jutsu that the third Hokage tells Naruto to only use when he's interrogating or somebody really needs to do. Naruto understands, and then his team gets assigned. Shino, Kiba, and Hinata. Team Kurenai. Naruto's sad about this since he promised Hinata that he'll help her, but Naruto will tell her that he'll help her even if they're not on teams. Team Asuma will be Ino Shikachoji, or Choji, Ino, and Shikamaru. Naruto will be a little bit bummed out that he's not on a team with one of them, and then he realizes who he's on a team with. Naruto, Uzumaki, Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura Haruno, Team 7. With Kakashi Hatake. Naruto doesn't play a prank on Kakashi since he doesn't really know Kakashi all that well. And then he leaves, and Naruto goes to the rooftop. He asked Sakura first this time instead of Naruto. Sakura says that she just wants to, she likes a certain someone. And then the next person that talks is Sasuke Uchiha, and then Sasuke says that he wants to get revenge on a certain someone and surpass a certain someone. Naruto looks up and says he's Naruto Uzumaki, and his dreams is to become the most powerful ninja that he can truly be, and to take down the corruption in Konoha, which he doesn't really know. He just wants to take down the corruption in the ninja world. Naruto thinks to himself, this guy failed so many students. What makes us different? He tells him not to eat breakfast, which Naruto eats breakfast anyway, and his teammates do too. But Naruto comes with a backpack and stuff and has food and stuff. And Naruto sits it down, and then he sits it down by the entrance of the training field and heads towards his team, which are already there. Kakashi and Naruto arrive at the same time, which shocks Kakashi and shocks Naruto at the same time too. Both knowing that they're 3 hours late. Kakashi grabs his book and tells them that to attack. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura all jump away. Naruto, using his Anbu training, and hides into a bush. He tells Sasuke and Sakura his plan, and Sakura doesn't want to listen to him until Sasuke smiles and tells Naruto that fine, this plan will probably work anyway. Sakura would follow behind Sasuke, and which Naruto would take notice of. He looks at Sakura and says, don't follow somebody just because you like them. Do what you want to do sometimes. And then Naruto and Sasuke disappear before Sakura's eyes. Sakura taking this, knowing that she has to be strong if Sasuke would ever want to notice her. She would vanish too. Kakashi would notice that two Narutos are running towards him. Kakashi punching one in the stomach, which would transform into Sasuke, and then Kakashi kicking the other one away, showing that it's actually a clone. When he punches the Sasuke away, another Sasuke runs up behind him, weaving hand seals. Fire style. Fireball jutsu. Sasuke would shoot a fireball towards Kakashi, which Kakashi would notice that fresh out of academy students should not know these type of jutsu. Kakashi would dodge but get singed a little bit. Kakashi, blowing his finger, would notice a certain person right above him. A whole bunch of barrages of kunai would fly towards Kakashi forcing to turn into wood. Kakashi would appear behind a tree and step back, and he'll get grabbed from the leg by a rope, and he'll be hanging upside down. When he sees this, he gets shocked and cuts the rope, and falls into another trap that is hidden behind leaf, and it has a whole bunch of wood. Kakashi will not know Naruto knows wood release and just hide under here for a little bit until the wood starts wrapping around Kakashi and trapping him in the wood, trapping his feet. Kakashi would wonder, how powerful are these getting? He would take out his eye and activate his Sharingan and start weaving hand seals. He weaves hand seals and shows he's using Chidori and cuts through the wood. He jumps up with his Sharingan active, which shocks Sasuke and Naruto. But Naruto's eyes begin to hurt, and he gets on his knees and starts holding his eyes really badly. Kakashi notices this and stops, and then Naruto looks up and says, "I can see so clearly." Sasuke and Naruto and Sakura and Kakashi all look at Naruto's eyes and see it's a 3-tomo Sharingan. Sasuke is shocked to see all these people using the Sharingan, but Naruto says he doesn't know what this power is, and he tells Sasuke and Sakura to keep on going with the plan. And Sasuke decides to go along with it and asks Naruto later. The plan happens similar to canon. Naruto runs up on Kakashi and they start doing some taijutsu fights. Naruto starts using wood style too, and throws him off. Naruto uses his new jutsu and knocks Kakashi back, starts weaving hand styles. Uzumaki style. Whirlpool jutsu. Water comes out of thin air, which Kakashi notices, and he gets wrapped up into his thing. Sakura comes up behind him and tries to cut him, but she misses, which Kakashi takes notes of, and breaks out of the thing, and before he can, Sasuke is throwing a Demon One Shuriken at him. He throws a kunai towards Naruto and grabs the Demon One Shuriken. When the kunai hits Naruto, he turns into a shadow. He turns into dust, and the Demon One Shuriken turns into Naruto. Naruto, grabbing Kakashi's arm with his legs, slams him down on the ground, and jumps off of him, and then Hana Sakura and Sasuke run into the woods. Kakashi runs towards them to see what they're doing, and he gets on top of a tree, and before he can, he hears fire coming towards him, and looks behind him and sees a giant fireball. He sees a giant fire flame bird, like a fiery bird, and then flies towards him, and it explodes right at Kakashi and sends Kakashi flying. But Naruto's not done with Kakashi yet. As Kakashi's clothes are kind of on fire a little bit, Naruto uses the water bird jutsu that I told you guys about, and he hits Kakashi with it, which knocks Kakashi back. Naruto and Sasuke tried the new move that they were practicing when they were talking to Sakura. Naruto jumps up on Sasuke, and Sasuke boosts him up using his hands, but Naruto grabs Sasuke while he's getting boosted up and throws him, and does Shadow Clone Jutsu to knock them both up again. Sasuke kicks Naruto up by his legs, and Naruto knees Kakashi in his stomach. Naruto grabs Sasuke and then throws him up above Kakashi and kicks him in the back. Naruto starts kicking him and punching him in the stomach while Sasuke is kicking him in the back. They both jump up and both kick Kakashi in the back at the same time, sending him flying into the ground. As this is happening, Sakura places a wire around Kakashi and ties him up. Kakashi's actually surprised about their teamwork, and they know that Sasuke, Sakura, and Naruto are going to be the next best team. But before they can do this, Naruto uses his water dragon jutsu, which surprises Kakashi, and Sasuke uses his last amount of energy to use a fireball. They both clash, and Kakashi disappears. Kakashi looks at Naruto and Sasuke and says, "Y'all guys did good, and you too, Sakura," which is surprising. "Y'all guys almost took me down." "Well, let's go do some missions. Y'all guys passed." And Kakashi looks at his bells and realizes that they were gone for a long period of time. He asks them how they took the bells ago, and Naruto says they took the bells around the time where Sakura had you tied up, and I was using my wood style. You're too busy wondering how powerful we were, and I just took the bells easily with my wood style. Simple. Naruto looks at Kakashi, and they both notice something different about Naruto's eyes. They turn back into stars. Sasuke asks Naruto about his Sharingan, and Naruto says his dojutsu. It was his dojutsu. I don't know what you're talking about with your Sharingan. He doesn't know what a Sharingan is, and Sasuke takes this into consideration and decides to ask Kakashi about it, how he has the Sharingan. Kakashi tells him that his friend Obito Uchiha was killed during the Third Shinobi World War, and gave him his Sharingan as his final parting gift before he died. Sasuke would be a little bit mad at Kakashi for having a Sharingan, and he wouldn't believe him at first until Kakashi takes him to Obito's grave. Naruto and Kakashi will look at each other, Sasuke and Kakashi will look at each other, and they'll go their separate ways. Naruto still asks for a secret mission, and the third Hokage is not reluctant at all and actually takes the mission. They protect a person named Tazuna. Tazuna can't pick on anybody since Naruto is a little bit taller than Sasuke, and he kind of makes fun of Sakura for looking like the weakest, just making fun of Sakura since there's no one he really can. But Naruto doesn't like this at all. Naruto goes up towards Tazuna and grabs him by his collar. "If you make one of either of my teammates, I'll put you in the ground." Tazuna getting a little scared about this, he decides not to make fun of anyone, and then they go on their mission. The Demon Brothers attack, but Naruto and Sasuke both take them out easily with a double tag team attack, calling it the Uzumaki Uchiha spiraling dragon dance, which is basically where Naruto and Sasuke both rush a partner of enemies. Naruto grabs Sasuke by his leg and swings him towards one of the enemies. He kicks an enemy and then bounces off the enemy that he kicked and knees the other enemy that he's fighting. As this is happening, Naruto is Naruto jumps towards them with Shadow Cleanse throwing him towards the enemy that Sasuke jumped off of, and grabs him by his shoulders and throws him towards Sasuke, while Sasuke grabs the other enemy, flipping him over his back, and both enemies crash toward each other, and Naruto and Sasuke both go behind their enemies and kick them, and cracking some of their bones. Naruto and Sasuke look at each other and fist bump, which makes Kakashi reminisce about the time of him, Obito, and Rin and Minato, back in the good days. Kakashi questions Tazuna about the real thing about this mission. He tells them the truth, but they decide to go on the mission. Zabuza arrives, and then the fight still happens, and Naruto does it. Sasuke still trick Zabuza, so the events happen similar to canon. And then Naruto learns about Zabuza, and then once this happening, they're recovering, and they learn tree walking and water walking. Naruto and Sakura pass at the same exact time, since his chakra control is a little bit better in this timeline, and his chakra control is on the level of Sakura at this point. Sasuke takes a little bit longer, but since his training with Naruto, Kakashi, and Sakura, his chakra control is a little bit better, and he gets the hang of it quickly as well. But not as fast. It takes him 2 other days. Naruto meets a woman called Haku, and she tells Naruto that he's a boy. They still have the same talk, and then they tell Naruto he's a boy. Naruto's morals are all messed up, and then Haku actually looks at Naruto and says she tells people that a lot, so she doesn't try to get forced into like something that she doesn't want to do, but she actually is a girl, and Haku is a girl. If anybody wants to argue with me in the comments, I'm down to argue, so I'm down. Naruto and Haku leave the scene, and then the fight. When they're on the bridge, Zabuza arrives, like, never mind, and blah blah blah. Haku arrives as well. You know. The fight happens like in Canada, Sakura protecting Tazuna a little bit better, since her training with her teammates are a little bit better. Naruto and Sasuke start trying to fight her, but it's too much, and they keep getting attacked by Haku, since her ice release is way too powerful for them, until Naruto's eyes begin to pulsate, and then an ice spike appears on Naruto's hand, which Haku takes notice of. Haku tries to rush them with the Sanbon and tries to attack Sasuke, but Naruto gets in front of him, kind of like what Sasuke did to him in canon, and summons an ice mirror, which cracks the mirror. Which, when Haku sees this, she realizes, is Naruto just like me? They can hear a Chidori, and they can hear a Chidori in the distance, which Haku will notice, but Naruto's already towards Zabuza and kicks Zabuza out the way, and Naruto gets impaled with his Chidori. Kakashi gets flashbacks of Rin, and he sees Naruto smiling. And he says, Kakashi-sensei, I'm not that stupid. And Naruto disappears, revealing that it was Shadow Clone. Kakashi, realizing he was almost about to... He thought he was going to kill his own student, which put fear into his head. Naruto and Haku both rush towards Zabuza, and Haku tries to defend him, but Naruto says he's not going to attack Zabuza. Naruto still gives him the Takano Jutsu that he did in canon, and Zabuza changes his ways and decides to take out Gato and his men, which he does, and he takes them out, and he goes towards Naruto and tells him thank you. He tells Zabuza to come with him and come to Konoha to become Konoha Nen, since he's basically not a good person right now. He tells him that no, he's not gonna do that, and he's gonna stay a rogue ninja for a little. He's gonna stay as a rogue ninja. He tells Haku to go with him and live his life and stop being his tool. Haku is mad and refuses, but Zabuza tells her as his final gesture to go with Naruto. And Naruto decides, Haku decides to join them since that was his last wishes. The Rock Lee stuff would happen just like normal. Sasuke would get beaten badly. And then my guy would arrive, and then somewhere canon, the fights will still happen like normal. And then Naruto and Kiba would just be one-sided. Naruto just slapping around Kiba. And we'll get into the second part of the Chunin exams in the next part. I'll see y'all guys in the next video. Peace out.